This video is intended for audiences who are 13 and over. If you are not 13 and over, please fuck off and tell your parents to moderate what you watch online.
Uh-oh, there's a murder mystery happening. We gotta find out who the killer is, right? We gotta find out who's behind the task. Gotta find out who's not doing their task correctly. Someone's acting sus, right? This is definitely a werewolf among us, right? We gotta watch out for the mafia, right? Or the fact that there's a clue left behind, right? All right, it is episode 18 of Gozyuger. Mystery GP. The detective is in the village, right? Hey, someone got one of the bell guys, bell heads. I'm pretty sure these things have a name. I just don't care enough about these bell guys. You got murdered. I like how everyone decides they decided, we got nothing else to do today, so we might as well go back and we might as well spend our entire afternoon, right, trying to solve this murder and everything. And here's the thing about murder in a TV show, in an episode, right? When they reveal the murder, there has to be actual clues that are left behind throughout the show for the viewer to notice and watch. The fact that none of these clues, right, up until the last one actually comes up, right, does not help. It's kind of defeats the purpose of this being a murder mystery, right? So, because the audience cannot follow along, right? If you just start inserting clips that never existed for the audience to be well aware of, right, of the show's within the show's own narrative, right? So when they reviewed that Barakuma, right, was like the murderer, I was like, oh, yeah. I mean, it was kind of obvious by the last one when they saw like the weird bear print. I was like, oh, okay, it's Barakuma, right? But how do we get to Barakuma? And then they reveal like all these weird clips. Like, yeah, we never saw any of this shit, like, okay, how is any of us, the audience, was supposed to be aware of this scenario, So it makes absolutely no sense, right? So it defeats the point of the murder mystery, right? If you just insert clues and elements that the audience is never aware of to known about, I guess technically it was there at the beginning, right? When Kumada jumped through the window, I guess, hey, that's something he could do, right? He jumped through the window to enter the space, and we didn't see Barakuma with it. But I don't think we saw Barakuma like chilling in the base the entire time, So I guess that was a hint, right? I guess we saw him Barakuma jump around from behind the counter and not like behind him. So I guess that was a hint, right? So sure, I'll give the show that as a hint that Barakuma was involved here since the beginning, right? Because he is technically a character, They did a pan to every single character in the room except Barakuma, right? It turns out a little bear can actually, in fact, be a murderer and everything. So they gotta figure that out. Yeah. Also, there's like a random B plot going on between Tenga Sword and his son. Goody Burn. He hates his dad. He doesn't want to hang out with his dad, right? His dad doesn't support his dreams and everything. He never asked to be born, never asked to be his son, right? I feel like I was born out of a sexual assault, so I don't like this, right? My life is hell. I hate it, right? But yeah, so they have to solve the murder of who murdered this bell. And look, it's Sumino's episode. She finally gets an episode for her to solve a murder. But no, Kamen just says, nah, I'm gonna be the police. I'm gonna be the detective now. I feel like I can do a good detective if I play Among Us, right? That's his right. Right, and I like how he calls out Sumino a lot. I think it was real funny. He just starts calling her out until she's really bad at her job, and she's not a good detective. So I thought that was funny. I like that. Sumino gets real mad about it. Like, hey, hold on. I can do a good detective. I can do a detective job. So they start interrogating everyone, right? I like how Horiwu realized that, oh, wait. I could murder people for money? Oh, wait, that's a thing? I appreciate that. I appreciate Horiwu realized, wait, hold on. You tell me I can get paid to kill people? Right? So I thought that was funny. So as she goes through like the group, I feel like this would have been good point for him to insert like their weird like the weird Kumada not Kumada bear Kuma bear at hints, you know, like especially when he talks about the white silhouette. We don't see any white silhouette. We just see like his weird live stream. So we saw like in the background when they cut to his live stream, we saw someone. We saw Kuma bear walking, flying by, right? You know, that would have been helpful. Bakugamin was writing a verse for Lord Tenga Sword. You know, hey, look, that's what he does. You know, when he's not working, he's writing for his god. You know, but yeah, you know, in retrospect, you look at this episode, Kuma Bear, even though he's not really there. He's just chilling, right? We never see him react enough, right? I mean, I guess there are like weird hints. Like there's a point where we see Bear Kuma just float off, I guess. So I guess there technically were hints, but I feel like these hints were still very weak in retrospect for us to figure out. You know, I was a big fan of these hints that they try to justify with the show, right? But yeah, they figure out that it's Kuma Bear. You know, after hey look, Hoiru cannot afford coffee after they drink poison coffee. I love how Kuma Bear knows that Hoiru is so fucking poor, right? That even when he in his own restaurant that he rents out and lives out of, right? He still cannot afford to drink the coffee there, so he pours like the weird flour. Like, oh yeah, this is the only thing he can afford to eat or drink, or I don't know how suck the vapor out of the flour, you know, right? But yeah, no, but Kuma Bear's reasoning for is like, oh no, hey look, we thought it was an insane backstory, you know, right? We found out his entire backstory. He used to be a regular like toy teddy bear until Kumade's ring power lets him bring something back to life, or bring something to life, you know, which I think is insane. It's like, oh, I guess, that's his one, but pretty much like a one-time thing. So it's like, oh, just the one time I can bring something back to life, you know, that's it. I can't use it anymore, but there you go. But yeah, everyone is they've solved the mystery, right? Oh yeah, Fire Candle was here at some point, you know. He was there to say goodbye to his friend who was the murder victim, the murder bell guy. They used to be drinking buddy. I don't know. I thought that was real fucking funny. I appreciate that bit. That was a good 3-minute wasted, right? But yeah, they fight the No.1 mystery number. He's Detective Conan. I don't know who the fuck was in his body. I thought this. It was like, is this supposed to be a Detective Conan reference or something? I don't know. It's just a dude, all dressed in black with like bushy hair. I think this is a Detective Conan reference. I believe. I'm not sure. I thought this was a Shotaro from I honestly thought it was Shotaro from Double for a second there, where she pulls out the guy. But I have no idea who the fuck this guy is. I don't know if this is a character I'm pretty sure this is a character we have never seen before in the show. Just like some random guy, you know. And I don't know what this character's deal. Once again, it doesn't matter, you know. Like most of the time, the things in this show does not matter, right? In the end, it turns out so worthless. But yeah, Kuma Goody Birds hates his dad, you know, right? He wants to fight his dad, and he combines with Kuma to marry like this. Just because he just rides a giant Gatling gun bear, you know. Hey, who will win in a battle? A horse or a bear? You know, take your bets right now. Or a chariot, or a chariot or a centaur. Take your bets right now. But it doesn't matter. Daijujin shows up. It's Black Daijujin. But he's doing something cool and crazy. He's telling you that, hey, have you gone out and bought the Super Robot Universe fucking toy line yet? That thing is cool. Look what you can do. It's just like in the show. Wow, wowee. You know, it's the thing you do with the real life, where you could mix and match the Megazord part. You know, wow, it's so cool. Yeah, that's just how this episode ends. Like I said, for a murder episode, I don't think it was good. I think murder episodes are really good when you can actively follow along and the clues are actively present within the show and not just thrown in and be like, yeah, hey, here you go. Here are the clues, you know, like, oh yeah, we're so smart with our clues, you know. You guys like that? Yeah, I don't think this. Yeah, I feel like this one was really weak. If they were trying to do like a murder mystery, the clues weren't there enough, right? Like there's like very bad hints that it was Kuma Bear, you know, right? That I guess when you do a second rewatch you notice, but like it wasn't enough for the audience to purposely figure out, right? All right, I think that's it for this week's episode. Okay, thanks. Bye.